Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Eric the Cosmic Wizard, and welcome to 2025, everyone. Happy New Year, all that good shit. Happy New Year's to everybody out there, whenever you see this. But today, I want to talk about 2025 resolutions. I know how corny, how cheesy, but I do because my resolution is to make more videos and to actually start posting more. So why not start with New Year's resolution, right? So I just basically want to talk about certain things that I would like to change this year and also talk about certain things that I think should change and why. The first one is I don't plan, hope, no, I'm not. So I deleted all of my dating apps today and I only had like one or two on there, but I'm deleting all my dating apps. I have kind of been like slowly like getting off dating apps just because I think that dating apps are just terrible. I think they're just really awful ways to actually meet people. I think when you are on dating apps, you are kind of like marketing yourself to other people. I mean, you are like you're not kind of you are marketing yourself to people in like a way that doesn't necessarily always show the true you or the authentic you. Like let's just like dating in general, right? At first we all kind of come like this pre-packaged like like I don't smoke and I drink just a little bit, or I don't like to, like they just come off very not sincere. And it's not until like, a month or two in, you start to get more comfortable. And then you start to realize that, wow, like this person is not who I thought they were. And that can be problematic because that's not the person that you thought you were getting. It's like, okay, if you go to a car dealership, right, and you're test driving, I don't know, a Tesla, and you want to buy a Tesla, and then 2 weeks later or 2 months later, you like go outside and you like notice like the sticker is like peeling off, and then you realize that it's not a Tesla, it was Eclipse or something. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't what you thought it was. So like that's essentially my experience with dating apps. Like some people probably a lot of people have had really good experiences with dating apps, I'm sure, but most of the people that I know, dating apps it's just a perpetual hookup culture, really. And also I've noticed that there's people whose pictures have not changed over 10 plus years. Like I have been staring at the same photos on these apps for like 10 years plus. And it's like no one you don't even look like that. Like, yes, that looked like you, but then it's just mind blowing. It's just these people, and you know why they don't change their pictures because they don't have to. They have just been on these apps, me included, just staring at all the things they do not want to even like interact with. Because you just look on those apps, right? And if you've been in the same location and you've been in the same spot, half of the best part about being on the hookup apps or when you will go out to town and see the different options, the different like it's like you just started seeing people as like well, at least I did. You started seeing people as like I guess options or objects really. You just objectified people. And it was a really inauthentic way to not only like display who you are, but to meet someone and you just don't appreciate people as much. I feel like when you meet them off a dating app. Don't get me wrong. I've met some really cool people off of those apps who we ended up being friends with, but we never had relationships or anything like that. But there's a lot of just real negativity that comes with dating apps. Also, like the way it affects your self esteem. I don't know about you all, but like rejection is something that we all experience, right? So in real life, people aren't going to be so mean about it, right? Or I mean, we've all been rejected, but it's sometimes those keyboard warriors, right? Those people who know how to really just be like assholes and they don't mind being assholes online, like just like real shitheads in the like online world. People who, for the lack of a better word, they don't know you, you don't know them. They don't care about your feelings, and they don't care how they say things to you. Um, People can be very mean. They can be very rude, and also there's a lot of racism. Yeah, a lot of racism on these apps. A lot of people who fetishize different groups of people. You know what I mean? Like just the whole we're just like the horny gay white dude looking for like a BBC, or this like the whole fetishization. It's just it I'm like disgusted by it because I used to play into it. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like but I was, waking up from ignorance. It's just, yeah. But dating apps, and they're terrible for your self esteem. They're terrible for your self esteem because you feel like you're never good enough because the people that you like may not like you. And then you feel like you have to be nice to people you don't like out of like maybe it's just me, but you don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, and then like you just kind of like start to dehumanize people, and what you do to others you do to yourself. So you start to objectify yourself. You feel like you're not good enough. You feel like you aren't uh desirable, and it's like you're looking at this little box with this profile picture of God knows what, right? It could be a meme, it could be the person from 5 years ago, 2 months ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. It could be abs, it could be a leg, it could be whatever. It could be a car. I don't know. It could be whatever, right? And that is, you are basing all of what you think about this person off these one, maybe five pictures. 1 to 5 pictures, depending on how many pictures the app or whatever allows you to have. And you have to make an assessment based off of that in 250 characters in a about me box and maybe some other crap. And it's just, yeah, it's just a terrible way because how can you like describe who you are in 250 characters? Like that's hard. And you really do like have to put your best foot forward, right? Like you are putting all the good things and the best things about you. You're not putting the most people aren't putting the, oh, I cheated on 6 of my last 10 partners. I recently just was, diagnosed with this disease or da 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 da. I have terrible boundaries. I don't know how to appreciate women or especially, and you know what, honestly, women in dating apps. I have a lot of female friends, and like the stories they have told me about dating apps, it is crazy out there, y'all. Especially like these dudes. Like this is kind of blending into my next topic, but we're gonna the toxic nice guy from these dating apps, right? Like, and I wouldn't say I'm a nice guy, but I've noticed I did have some nice guy tendencies that I had to work on. The biggest problem I think with nice guys is the perpetual victim, right? And so I'm moving from dating apps to nice guys. Like no more being a nice guy, no more dating nice guys, and because they're just perpetual victims and everything is honestly like when you start being with a nice guy, or if you're a nice guy, you are constantly manipulating people in a very subconscious way. And I mean like you leverage your niceness as a weaponized niceness, right? So you being nice is like a quid pro quo thing, right? Like, oh, you pay for my dinner, you did these things for me. It can kind of make people, or even it's really the person, right? That person will feel entitled. They may feel obligated to certain things, right? Oh, if I buy your lunch, then that means you should buy my dinner. Or knowing that I'm going to get like a dinner that's like 10 times more expensive or whatever it is, or like using nice gestures to get people to like them or to be on their side, and it's very just it's narcissistic, really, and it's also manipulative. It's just it's deceptive. It's deceptive as fuck, right? And so like there's so many people on these apps who are just the nice guys. And a lot of the nice guys use those dating apps, and they don't see anything. They don't think that they come off as toxic or weak, and that's the yeah. It's just yeah. So no more being a nice guy. No more dating nice guys. Stay away from nice guys. They are very manipulative, and if you are with someone who is the nice guy, you're gonna always be seen as like the problem, even though that they're the problem. Like I just watched this Till Swan video. If you don't know who she is, she's a life coach, spiritual person, but she makes some really good content. Like you should, if you don't know who Till Swan is, like I would suggest looking her up because she is, yeah, she says some shit that is just like out there, and you don't have to accept all of it, of course, but like I think she presents the way she sees the world is very telling of like how brainwashed society has become and how we kind of like just don't talk about the things that we need to talk about. But anyway, so yeah, just being a nice guy is just bleh. My tongue is blue from the mouthwash. Um, yeah, and also like I don't like having to shrink myself to make someone else feel comfortable. And you have to do that a lot when it comes to nice guys because everything is so hard for them. Like they are so kind and so empathetic and they just lack a backbone and they just want to be agreeable. So like you ever find yourself like being around someone who is just super nice and you feel like wow, I'm taking advantage of this person because they just agree to everything that I want to do. Let's go to movies. Oh yeah. Let's go to movies. What do you want to see? I don't mind. Whatever. Oh, you want to see this? Yeah. Let's see that movie. And like, they may not even like it. They just do things because they just want to be liked, and that's just so unattractive to me, and probably to a lot of people, right? And then they don't understand why people don't. But I did everything you wanted me to do. I went to the movie that you wanted. I did this. I did that, and it's just like but when you say something like, "No, I don't want to do that," then it's like, and they're not really that nice, right? You could be like, "Okay, let's go see, I don't know, this movie A. Well, I want to see movie B. All right, well, I really want to see movie B. Let's choose movie C. All right, so like you could meet in the middle, right? And like the nice person doesn't want to have that conversation. They're afraid that you're gonna be like, well, fuck you. You want to see movie B? Then you can all go see movie B by yourself, and I just did that. And like you just someone ends up being resentful. Normally, it's the nice person that ends up being resentful. And yeah, you don't want to do that. Don't do that. Just don't be a nice guy. Be a kind person. Be empathetic. Think about the better needs of like the community around you and be more compassionate and empathetic to people. That's what we need. You don't have to be nice about it. You just need to be honest about it. Hey, like if you see a kid, acting crazy in the store, I don't know, maybe you shouldn't just go up to the person and be like, hey, you need to like watch your kids. But that may be better than just like always just walking past all the problems. Like, when you see somebody like who needs help, be like, hey, listen to your mom. Like, stop being a shithead. Maybe don't say that to the kid, but like you shouldn't act like that. Your mom is whatever. But I don't know. But people get so weird about it. And that's probably a really bad example of how to be kind versus nice. But being kind is telling people the honest truth. Like the honest truth. Like, okay, if you let's say, your friend has been complaining about their dating life and all these things and how, men or women aren't, treating them the same. the nice person would be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that." And there's nothing you could do. You're perfect the way you are and blah 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 blah. Well, a kind person would be like, "Well, I mean, maybe, you need to fix your appearance a little bit. You haven't really been taking care of yourself that much. I know you've been like really, sad about your job and everything, but you've kind of started, changing your appearance, and you don't, dress the same. You don't look as good as you used to. Your pictures are outdated. People may not feel like they are meeting the authentic you, and that's not nice, but I think that's more helpful. That is more helpful to tell somebody that. And I remember during COVID, I got so pudgy and fat, and then I started losing weight, and I was like at work and talking to all my work friends, like, and none of you bitches fucking told me how fucking fat and stuff. Yeah, and I was just like, that's not a nice thing to do, but maybe it's not kind, or I don't know. I wouldn't have. Yeah, that's a tough one too, because I don't think there's anything wrong when telling people how they feel when they prompt you to do it, like going up to somebody and being like, "You look hideous," and like that's not cool. But if someone's asking you a genuine question, like you should be honest, and that's a form of kindness. And it may not be nice, but it is kind. It's honest, because what's worse, telling someone that they look good, and then as soon as they leave, like, that bitch is busted. She look like a fucking can of busted biscuits. Like, but you go, you look good, yeah, yeah. I love that. I love that outfit on you. You look so cute. Yeah, no, that's that's so not nice. No, it's just awful. It's an awful way to treat people. Be kind. Don't be nice. Next thing I want to talk about is, this is something that I have been working on a lot, and it is not shrinking who I am for other people. Um, sometimes you ever just been around somebody who is just kind of like very soft spoken, and like there's nothing wrong being soft spoken, but like they're just kind of like they just very like recoiled in like who they are, like they're very like they live in a shell, and like I feel like sometimes you have to like walk on eggshells around certain people because they're so sensitive and everything is so offensive or harmful or loud, or they're just so just obtuse and like fixed, and like you can't, and you have to like minimize who you are to be around them, those kinds of people, right? And it's just it's exhausting, and it's inauthentic, and it's not cool. Like, I'm not saying you have to be like, main character all day every day 24/7, but people who just are just not comfortable being themselves, or for whatever it is, or like they can't handle other people being successful around them, or you constantly feel like you have a friend who is like jealous, and like you have to like underplay or undermine your achievements and stuff around other people because they don't feel jealous. Like, this, yeah. And like, what was it? Oh, I was at Thanksgiving, and I was talking to my sister's fiance, and I had made like a joke about like politics. It was like a anti-Trump joke or something. I don't even know what I said, but everybody in my family is like, "Oh, why don't say anything because we don't know how." Fuck him. I like you, but I'm not gonna like not talk about what I want to talk about because it may make this little white boy feel uncomfortable. Bitch, you in a house full of all black people. Like, you're dating a black girl. Like, will you? You know what time it is. At least you should. Like, this ain't Candace Owen family. We not doing none of that. We not doing none of that. We not doing none of that. If you want to be conservative and Republican, that's cool and all, but I'm not going to not talk about and say how I feel because it make you feel uncomfortable. Just like you. No, we're not doing that. And that also means not. Uh, how do I put this? Racism is a white people problem. White people created racism, and white people have to figure it the fuck out. It's not my obligation to make you feel comfortable with being a white person, and it's not my job to coddle the white guilt that you may or may not have. I don't really care. It's really it's your fault, but it affects me and my people the most. It harms me. Your disease is harming people like me, and you need to get help for that if you are afflicted with that racism shit, and stop hurting other people who don't deserve it. And also, I'm not for people using racism to avoid accountability for their actions. Um, oh, you pulled me over because I'm black. No, they pulled you over because your license plate say 2012 and it's 2015 or 2025. I'm sorry. Or oh, it's like no, like you didn't get hired because you came to the interview smelling like weed, and which is like. But there are real racist things that are happening, and when we start, trying to make everything racist, it dilutes the real racist shit. It's hiding. It just starts to like, you know what I mean? Like, there's real racist things that happen. There's real, systemic racist things, and not talking about it and trying to make white people feel comfortable is just making it worse. And also trying to make everything a race thing is also not helping. So it's about finding a common ground where you can express how you feel, and like everyone should be able to express how they feel, you know? And I think with our current or soon to be current president, it's going to embolden some people who have very extreme views, which are problematic. But thank you for shedding light on those people so now we can address them and possibly stay away. And, you know, or what's more telling to me is the silent majority, right? The whole thing about the silent majority of people who are just cowards and support wickedness. Because if you don't think that this election was about morality, then I don't know what to tell you. That's just how I see it. I just see that person as just a very. I mean, they're both kind of shitty people. Don't get me wrong. It's just I don't even think that he believes half the shit that he says. Like, there's no way to just like split up. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about that because it just makes me angry. But ugh, yuck. Don't shrink yourself. Be who you are. Don't ever fucking not be you or do something. Like, I was so afraid to make videos, and I'm still kind of like nervous about being exposed or whatever, or being like laughed at or whatever. I'm sure that's going to happen at some point, right? If I keep doing this, there's going to be somebody who is going to troll me and like do those things. And it's like, I can't not say and feel and do what I feel and be who I am because I'm afraid of other people's opinions or hurting someone's feelings or shit like that. Like, because there's many people who aren't going to vibe with me. There's going to be people that do. And maybe there's more that don't that do. And maybe there's more that do that don't. And I don't really give a fuck. I just have to do what I'm being called to do. And like, I'm being called to do this. And it's hard to describe. It's hard to explain. But it's just, when you feel like your soul is like calling you to do something, there's really no way to describe it other than like you start noticing all the times you feel like you should be doing what you're called to do. When I'm sitting here watching YouTube videos, and I'm like, wow, that's a really good topic. I should make a video about that. I wish I knew how to make a video like that. I wish I knew how to do like the stitching thing. I wish I could do all this. And it's like, start learning how to do that. And that brings me to this next thing that I want to talk about. My resolution is like embracing change, right? I embrace change, embrace things that are difficult, embrace things that get you out of your comfort zone, because that's the only way we're ever going to grow, right? They're called growing pains, not growing giggles. You know what I mean? Like, it hurts to grow sometimes because you have to leave certain people and things behind that are comforting, but they're not helpful for you. For example, I love drinking. I love alcohol. I loved it so much I went to rehab because I loved it too much. And I loved it so much that I kept drinking after I left the rehab. But it is something that I need to quit. I need to put it down. I need to not do it because when I do drink, I overdrink. I've been getting better, at least is what I'm telling myself, right? But at the end of the day, there's really no benefit to drinking alcohol. It doesn't do anything for your health. It's not healthy to drink alcohol. It's only harmful. But I do it all the time. And I love how my skin is looking right now on this camera. But I need to quit that. I need to quit that shit. And that's the change that I like. That's so hard for me to embrace. Is doing that. Eating healthier. Being more about my business, being more like, okay, I'm gonna work on my website for my tarot shit. I'm gonna work on my astrology. I'm gonna work on making more videos. I'm gonna work on making more bracelets. I'm gonna work on more. Like I have a whole LLC that I don't even fucking use because I'm so like, bleh, it's so different. I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not a tarot reader. I'm a teacher. But it's like you could do all those things. I'm teaching right now, I think. I don't know. I'm definitely dehydrated. I get like the old man, like white shit around the mouth. You know, that's just from the alcohol drying out the corners of my mouth. Yeah. Alcoholism is not cute, y'all. Something I'm definitely working on. Being more honest. Changing is about being vulnerable. It's about being able to admit that there is something that is currently not working and having the gall to change it and actually move in a different way is that's a very attractive trait, I think. Someone who can actually recognize a pattern that is disruptive and then change it. You know, like not a lot of people can make attempts, including me. Like I can attempt to change it, but like long term follow through has always been really hard for me. Consistency is just something that I have always struggled with, and you know, I'm this year I'm like standing on business. Like I'm going to be holding myself accountable to the things that I want to do. I have goals, I have desires, and I am tired of standing in my own way. And I think this year is, you know, is and you don't have to wait till the new year to do all this shit, right? I started kind of incorporating this stuff, but I think the energy and just like the whole like the mindset of just like it's a new year, you know, I think that is like just invigorating and it just helps pack that punch of like you gotta, you know, not now or never, but just now, just now, just do it now, you know, just do it, you know, like just do it, like come on, come on, you know. Watching too much South Park lately, I just, yeah, being more disciplined in how I approach life, how I handle things, how I move. You know, the more we can really just hold ourselves accountable and hold the vision that we want for ourselves. What is it that you want in 2025? Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to move? Is there something that you like personally want to work on for like your personal betterment, like being healthier, exercising more, eating healthier, getting into gardening, taking up fencing classes, learning a new skill, getting a new job, being more outgoing, finding that special someone, and not using dating apps to find connections with people. Those are all good things. Those could be things that necessarily everyone has to do. There's nothing wrong with dating apps. Actually, I take that back. There's a lot of shit wrong with dating apps, and but they did work for some people. If you are just looking for something quick and easy, sure, why not? You know, it's a popcorn relationship, microwave relationship, right? And I know there's lots of people who have met their forever person online, and I'm not knocking you all. I'm not saying that, you know, that it doesn't work for some people. It does. It does work for some people, but the majority of us did not have that outcome. Every person that I dated, and it's a mixture of me. Honestly, that's the only person I can't blame. I can't blame any other people. No one made me do anything. No one made me date or be with anybody I didn't, want to be with. So, for me, it's not good. All of the things that I'm doing is because I don't think I should do it. I'm not telling you what you should or shouldn't do. I'm just sharing with you all what I want to do. And, there's things that are going to get me towards my goals. And right now, being in a relationship or dating is like something that is going to distract me from what I want and need to do right now. I'm focused on myself. I'm focused on moving out of the city. I do not want to live in a red state anymore. I don't know if it'll be better in like Illinois, but we'll see. I've been wanting to just move and have a change of scenery. I don't like my job that much. I think the school I work for is a piece of shit, and they don't really care about the kids. And I'm tired of being complicit in the degradation of the African American community in St. Louis. I really just feel like I'm just a cog in the wheel of the systematic, fucked up education system. And that's the truth on that one. Yeah, so just 2025 is all about action. It's about taking action for me, and it's about me doing the things that I want to do to get to where I want to go. And you know, I've gotten to I've been in such a stagnant energy these last couple of years. Honestly, at least 3 or 4 years. Ever since, well, I would say at least 2 to 3 years. No. Anyway, I've been stagnant long enough, longer than I would like. And true change is slow and hard, and it takes a long time. And being patient is not something I'm very good at, but I'm working on it. Fuck. I hate all these things have to warm up for you to smoke them first. Like, ugh. God, this is so fucking annoying. Oh, no, the battery's dead. Even better. Charger's right here, though. Not that you all care. But, yeah, dude. So, like, what is it that you all want to work on? What are some things that should change? And I think there's a lot of shit that needs to change in society. I think the way we fucking view capitalism needs to change. Capitalism is so fucking, like, it just fucks with the human brain. The desire, the need to always crave and want more. It's not healthy to always, and like the way it makes you compare. Well, so and so has the, and it's just the way we've used it. It's so oppressive, and you have to basically like the whole thing about being like an ethical millionaire. Like in order to be a millionaire, you have to like undercut people. You have to like, and people are like, no, you don't. You don't have to do that. Well, technically, you don't have to, but most people end up having some situation, some scenario where they have to choose money and profit over quality in people. And I just think that it's just like the excess, it's like, why can, you can hoard everything, right? You can have too many microphones, you can hoard stones, crystals, rocks, you can hoard bottles, you can hoard anything, but you can't, there's no such thing as like people who hoard money, people who have this absorbent amount of wealth that they can never touch. And oh well, it's for my family, da, 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 da. But it's literally it's insane. It's insane how some people have so much, right? Like there's people who literally can just drop $10,000, and there's people who would die for $10,000. There are people who go around killing people, hitmen. Like these little young kids out here doing hits for like $500, $200. I'm not even fucking kidding you. Risking their life, taking a life for $500. It's crazy. Like, and it's because they need the money. I'm sure there's other psychopathic, cognitive dissident reasons for why people do shit like that too, and socioeconomic reasons. But we're not gonna get into that. That's a whole different video. It's already been 35 minutes, and I don't like to edit these. So the last thing I'm working on in 2025, and this kind of is a nice send off because I think this is like getting a little too long, is just being more authentic, being more honest, because authenticity is number one. Authenticity is a really good barometer to measure if someone is kind and honest and integral, and also it like repels dark, negative, narcissistic, low vibrational people because they cannot stand authentic people. They see it as very intimidating because how they feel about themselves. How they feel about themselves is like really, 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 really deep down. If they were to be authentic with themselves, they would have to like come to terms with like all the shit that they've done. And part of like spiritual growth is facing your shadow self. It's facing all the negative, just like the grossest things about you, and being like, I have to change that. That's the shadow. The shadow is not who you are, but it is a part of you. And it's because there's things in you that you have repressed, denied, suppressed, and lied about. And when you face that shit and you like integrate those like good qualities that are mixed up in the shadow back into you, you will be more authentic, and it'll be more natural to feel authentic. I used to be so concerned at work about like saying the wrong thing to people and like getting in trouble by like the higher ups or not being viewed favorably by the higher ups. But then I just realized that like I don't like these people. They're not good people. I'm sucking up to people who are not good people. Why am I doing this? Why not align myself with something that actually brings me joy and happiness? Why am I suffering because the ego says that you're a teacher and this brings you joy? When you tell people you're a teacher, they think of you in a certain way. They go, wow, you're a good person because you're a teacher. And that like feeds me, right? It makes me feel good. It allows me to do shitty things like drink every night. It allows me to, just maybe not be present in relationships with people or my family. I'm just so drained because I'm a teacher. And it's true. I am drained. Fuck. I am. I go home. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't. I can guarantee you, like, these videos are going to slow down as soon as school starts back up in the next week. But I'm going to do my best to power through it. But, yeah, I'm being authentic. I'm knowing how hard it is, and I acknowledge that like these changes aren't going to be easy, and I can sit here and say all these things, but I gotta stand on business and I have to hold myself accountable, and having video documentation is a good start, you think? But yeah, so those are just some of the things that I want to work on this year. I think the hardest thing for me, honestly, is going to be the no dating apps, because it is such a powerful source of validation sometimes. It can also be really like devaluing, which is like a risk. Like it's like a toss up. Like I'm either being told I'm so this and so this, or I'm either being put down and I'm feeling ignored by people. So it's like but it's not worth it. And at the end of the day, overall, it's not worth it for me, and I don't see how it's going to be beneficial because I plan on moving, and I plan on moving out of state, out of town. So what would be the point in like a relationship with someone. Like, I'm not going to stay and stick around for someone, nor do I think anyone or want anyone to like change their life plans for me. I think I know. I've always used these apps. I know I said pulling it off earlier, but I had to go back to this. Like sometimes, I feel like I use those apps to occupy time to basically distract myself from the loneliness of not being in a relationship. But then when I was in relationships, it was always this, you know what I mean? Like it just wasn't hitting right. And I think it's because I didn't meet the right kind of people because I was using dating apps. So hopefully, I can meet people in more authentic, genuine ways once I move. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to moving. That's really my main goal is to move to a different city and live life and just shed my St. Louis skin. I mean, I'm always going to be from St. Louis. Number one best place for Chinese food, hands down. I won't even eat ham fried, pork fried rice, chicken fried rice, special fried rice outside of St. Louis. I'm just not going to do it. I don't want to even try an egg roll in Cleveland. I don't want to try. I just know I'm going to be disappointed. But yeah. So those are the things I'm working on. Embracing change, all that good stuff. So let me know how you feel. Let me know what you resonate with, what you disagree with. I really want this channel to grow. I want to have dialogues. I want to have just like organic conversations. It doesn't always have to be tarot. It doesn't always have to be spiritual shit. It could just be like just random shit. It could just be whatever the fuck I want to talk about because it's my channel. And I want to know what people want to hear about. I love you guys. As always, drink water, be safe, and peace.